Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So today on our mixed media backgrounds, this is a page that I did the other day. I will link it down below at the end of this video. You can check it out. Like I said, at the end of the video comes up some links and, you can always click those to go check out other videos. So what I'm going to do today is draw a face on here, and we're going to do the majority of this page a face. It's really hard to decide where to put it because I really love this. I really love this. You know what I mean? You can't be too dedicated to the background as much as you want to, unless you move on and do another background. We're just going to do it on here, and I'm going to show you how I do it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this way and see if that makes me any happier. Because this I can do without. So that can become hair. So I think I'm just going to go for it and quit whining like a little baby. I'm going to use charcoal pencil. This is Derwent Charcoal and Light. This, of course, can be anything. This could be a pencil, a pen, a marker. Water-soluble marker works great. Stabilo, whatever you have will work. I'm just mapping out. And I'm going to have her over this way more. So I'm going to have her neck go here. I'm going to be over my delicious heart, but sometimes your heart just has to be hidden. Touche. Okay. I'm going in with a neck. And when I go in with my neck, you can see I just do these very loosely. And then what I'll do is I'll mark, oh, this deliciousness. Okay, stop. So I'll mark like halfway in. You see, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not somebody like that. What I'll do is I'll bring this up as halfway as the chin. And I'm not worrying about how perfect the outside's going to be. First of all, I don't care about perfection. Second of all, I'm going to probably tighten it up once I get the face in. But you see how I did? And the reason I'm using something like this is just to map it out, to show you, number one, and to, you can kind of see where you're going, see where you're heading, see, what kind of face you want. Now I'll go in and I'll kind of tighten this up a bit. You can see this is my original line, but I'm just going in like that, and that'll kind of be where I'm at. So then I'll take a rag and just kind of wipe this. Again, if you don't have a rag, don't use it. Don't need to wipe it. And then I'll go in just to sharpen this a bit. Now, if you have a Stabilo, it will write over anything. These do for the most part. It's enough for me to see. So then I'm going to go in, and I see my line right here for my chin, the halfway point, basically. And I'm just going to kind of bring it up a little bit like that. You can see here this isn't perfect. I know that some people use chalk too. I don't have chalk sitting here. I use charcoal a lot in my art as a piece of, part of it kind of thing. So I had to sit in here, but normally I would probably just use a pencil or something. Now I'm going to turn it this way because that's just how I have to. And I'm going to take this into half, approximately, and I'm going to put a line going through. I'm never straight. That's why I do odd girls, because I can never draw straight. But this is the general idea. Use a ruler too if you find that you want it really straight and you can't get it straight. So then I'll go like here and I'll be like, oh, let me eye it up about halfway. I'll do where the nose is, so you'll see there. And then I'll go, oh, from here to here about halfway. Okay? And that's generally it. Now you're going to find a million people out there with a million different ways to do a face. Do whatever you relate to. I've mentioned this before. I am somebody who has a really hard time learning from certain people. It's not all the time, not every video or every book or every class, but sometimes I don't know what it is with my brain, with medication and RA and fibro and everything else I have going on. Sometimes I just can't connect. Now, it depends on the video. It doesn't always necessarily depend on the person, okay? There are many videos I watch that I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Some I don't. if you don't get this, or my brain's too scattered or whatever to learn, there are so many wonderful people on YouTube that you could just put in and you will, you know, learn from them. So that's what I suggest. Don't watch me and think, oh, I don't understand this. This makes me a stunad. You know what I mean? You're not a stunad. You might just not be able to grasp what I'm picking up what I'm putting down, but somebody else might be doing better. Okay. As I talk to you, I'm like, oh, this is so delicious. But we're going to do another, I can do another background. So here I am. Okay. Eye girls is something I started a long time ago, where I don't worry about things being even and everything, because my brain just doesn't work that way all the time. Sometimes I get lucky, not all the time. So here we go. So I have this. Now I can even make this bigger and make the neck smaller. You do whatever you want to do. Usually the rule is you know, they're both the same size, the eye. So you do an eye here, you have the same size here, an eye here. If you want to do that, I'm going to give you a tip. Something stupid. I know my family doesn't watch this, but when we were little, I think it was my dad's father, my grandfather, would be like, let me give you a tip, don't smoke in bed. I know that's ridiculous, but every time I'm like, let me give you a tip, it's what wants to come out of my mouth next. Okay, and it's totally stupid, and it's okay. So I'm going to take a piece of paper you see here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, I want my eye on this paper. It's going to be the end there, and then I'm going to probably make my eye like this, and then take a pair of scissors or rip it, whatever way you want to do it, and cut it. Okay, and then cut it just like this, because we're not using it anything else but for a ruler. This is how I do it sometimes, because I can't comprehend a lot of things. So what I'll do is I'll go and put this in the middle, okay, of that line, approximately. Don't gag me for it. Okay, so here's that. Here's that. Okay, now you can see that's off a little bit because my measurements are crap, but you get the point. And then go here, and from here to here, basically, is where you're going to have your eye. And then, I don't know why I'm so off, but I am. All right. And then from here to here will be your eye. Okay, and then take this and mark with a pen. I know this is ridiculous, but eye. And then pin it to your wall, put it wherever, set it wherever. And what happens is now you have basically a template for your eyes of all times. Do it again if you want to go smaller. So that's my tip for you. And then what I like to do is go in, and I like to do a circle for the eye. I kind of like to do it half and half over the line. Now, some people do it underneath the line. Okay, so either way, but I think today we'll go under. Because that's just the kind of girl I am today. And look at me go with my wet paintbrush. Look at me, look at me. And make sure I wash it off. Just a dab will do ya. And look at me be. Okay, but I don't want to mess up my line here. I want to have an idea, but I got my little template now so I can measure, and I'm like, girl, I'm okay. So now I'm going to go under here, and I'm going to do an eye. Now, something that I love, I know you guys are getting mad at me all the time for saying things that I love, but if you've been with me, you know. This is one of my favorite things. And what it is a circle template. I'll put a link down below if you're curious, but I'm going to tell you, you can go to your local arts or crafts store. Got this at AC Moore. Michael's has them. Use a coupon, get it, but these are literally like $5. But what I like to do is, I know that's my line, so I will go over. Let me just wipe this just to show you. And I'll pick what size I want for my eyeball. We'll do this one. And I'll lay it where I want it, and then I go in and I do that. Look at me. Perfect zero circle. But if you want it bigger, you could do this. And maybe today, what I'll do is I'll do this, and then I'm going to go here because I see this is way off. And I'm going to put the line here. Don't be afraid. It's okay. And I pulled up some of my paper because, you know, it's just the way it is. But that's it. So here we are. We got our eyes. Not a big deal. I can move this down a little bit more just because. We'll just move it a little bit. I'm going to tear that paper up real good. Okay, so you see what I'm saying. Now, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to do this. I'm going to take some light flesh. You can mix your own colors using, what is it, red, blue, and yellow, I believe. Anyway, there's a million of those, but I honestly, sometimes I mix, sometimes I don't. Today, I am not mixing. And I'm going in with a paintbrush, and I'm going to dab in here, and I'm going to start, because I know I'm going to have, and I'm not worrying about this today, so I know I'm going to have a forehead, right? Because we all have foreheads, so I'll go like this, bring it down. Now I'm going to stay away from my marks on my eyes right now, but I want to show you. And this is just normal craft paint. Nothing, this isn't multi-surface. It isn't anything like that. And I'm going to go down here to my nose. Just to that line a little bit. And I'll go over here. And this is where I'm going to kind of draw more of how I want my face shape. Now remember, we're going to have hair. Let's hope I don't hate this and I'll not put this up. And I'm just laying some of this down. I'm going to stay away from the eyes for now. And I'm just going to kind of shape it. Because I can draw over. I'm not going to draw over my line though, but I can draw over the paint once it's dry. But I want you guys to be able to see. So I'm going to try to keep tabs. Yeah, I can still see that line under there. You know, for my lines and all. So if you have your lines, you already know. That's so great about YouTube or whatever you want. I mean, you could just pause it and redo it. Now, I have a great group on Facebook, and I have the best admins and the best people in the group. It's called All Things Creative. They do ATC swaps. They do, we just have a bunch of stuff that you can do. Where I'm trying to think of another swap we can do that's, you know, that everybody wants to do. So if you're interested, all you have to do is, now you can see I went over my neck where it was, and that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't get upset over stuff like that. But I'm going to bring this neck down a little bit more, which I'll do when I do. Kind of looks like a mummy. Kind of digging it. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this on the nose. I'm going to dry it real quick. Talk about brain working backwards. That's what I do. All right, so I'm going to lightly mark right here. But I mean, I know where to do it, but if you need to, you know, mark, because you can always play. Just do it very lightly, and then you have it marked. Then I'll go in, and I'm going to leave the circles, because I'm going to be painting them something else, obviously, for eye color. But I'm going to go in and give it a coat. If you can hear my dog gagging, I am so sorry. The weather's getting warm. And those allergies, whoosh. I have very old dogs, so you know how that goes. Alright, so I just finally got that little ploof off there. It keeps bothering me, so I'm just going in like this. Okay. and I think you're getting it. All right, so I'm going to put this in the water for now. We'll be back to that. I got to make sure I put the lid on. I know, it kind of looks like it's a monster from Friday the 13th, but we'll get it. We'll get it. It always does. Everything is fixable. And let me tell you something, and I've done this many, many, many times. If you get to this point, or you continue and you're like, I hate it, go back and use your same colors and do the background over it and start over. This is a piece of paper out of your art journal. That's what it's for. If you don't play and learn and all that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? All right, so I know, like I said, that the eye, where my eyes are. So this is gonna be my circle. I'm gonna paint in the eyeball. That's going in. And I know we're gonna do eyelids. So you wanna bring your eyelid, them to meet like halfway, right? So I can see here's my line. I can see here's my line. So you wanna bring it halfway. Halfway. See how we're doing? And then I'm going to talk to you about something. Okay, very easy. So you have a line here and you're going half and half. Then obviously this half will be like that, so they meet, because our eyes are like that. If you're doing an odd girl, it don't matter. Just have fun. Okay, so you can see this eye is obviously better than this eye because I had some problems, but it's okay. Not going to fight about it. Now, what we're going to do is make an eyelid, because what happens is, I'm going to take some white. Let me show you real quick, because it'll probably be easier to show you as well. Okay, I'm going to take some white paint, and we're just going to give it, because you know our eyes, which technically I like doing the white eyes when I'm doing like folk art girls. I'm not really a realistic painter, if you haven't noticed. I practice and I try, and I'm really working on abstract lately because it's fun, but I have to learn to let go. And so I've been doing a lot of abstract. One day I'll show you guys what I've been doing, because I paint a lot on my own. But you see, I'm just kind of putting in, now that one's a little bigger. Life's, that's just life, okay? But what happens is, when you do that, your eyes look like they're scared, right? Or they're like, "Ooh, girl," that's how it's saying. So what I like to do then is take whatever you're drawing with, and let's cut it a little bit. So I'll start at this corner and cut it. It's still a little wet, darn it. I knew it. So go corner to corner like that, and do the same here. You can do this with paint as well, to mark. And what will happen is it's going to cut your eye down, the eyeball that's showing down a little bit, and give you more of a normal look, if you want to be normal. I'm not normal, but all right, now we're going to go the nose, and there's the line. So what I like to do, very simple, is I do an upside down U. Like that's the base of our nose, very simple. And then I'll go up and kind of do a little hook and kind of do a comma, right? Like, or a, comma on both those ends. My pencil's getting dull. Well, like that. And then I'll add like the sides. These are parentheses, I think they're called. And I'm doing it a little bigger than I normally would so you guys can really see it, but that's basically it. So it would be, okay, let's say like here's your eye. I'm going to show you both of these on here. Here's your eye, here's your pupil, right? So you go from this corner and bring it to that corner. So when we color it in, paint it in, whatever you're going to do, you see how that changes the eye, how great that looks? And then for the nose, I like to go a little smaller, and I like to do it in one kind of squish, and then leave those pretty close and underneath like that, and then I'll take it up, around the eye. But do you see the difference? I just want to show you guys you know, on here. It's a little bigger, a little bit more like, well, what are you doing? But I'll erase it and do it a little bit better. But that is for you guys to see. And then the lips, you want to, if you're going to mark, you're going to take it like halfway from the nose like this. And that's going to be, you're going to, I do another small U or a V like that. Kind of like a little mustache. And then I take it down like this, take it up, take it down, and then I'll move this line this way, and then like a little right there. Very simple. A lot of people, I'm going to show you. Here's your line. And what a lot of people will do is like, they'll put that in half, and then they'll put like a small circle here, and then they do this right there. So then this becomes like, when you follow this, see how it, and then you take it over the circle to that line, over this, and I've done this a million times, and I've taught this a million times. And then when you go back down, there's your circle. And then when you erase all this, it becomes lips. If you want to see these more in depth, let me know. I'm just trying to, you know, I'm not really somebody to teaches those things, but just showing you how I do it. But you see, so there we are. And then you want eyebrows. So technically they say that your eyebrow, like if you go like this with the corner of your mouth, right? Isn't that right? To the middle of your eye. That's kind of where the arch is. So that'll be the highest part. And really, I'm just going to judge over here. And then bring it down like this. And then I just kind of bring it down like this. Because I'm all about that eyebrow, you see? And then the same. You know, and you play till you get what you want. If you look at my eyebrows on my face right now, that's what I want. It's not what I have. And then, of course, this, you know, you can always bring up into the eyebrow if you want to add more structure. And then here comes this part. So I wanted it down a little bit more. Not too much, but I want it a little bit more controlled like that. Like more like a top of an egg. Pointing, I guess. I just go over it a couple times so I'm kind of getting what I want. You know. And it takes me a couple times. Don't even think it, I mean, maybe some people can, and bless their hearts. I'm always erasing. So that's kind of what I do. Just like that. And let's go in real quick for the eyes. I'll go in with, let's pretend we're going to do some eyeshadow on, huh? Let's do a little pink. This is just light peony in Folk Arts. I like to take from the cap because that's the kind of girl I is. And then I'll go in. Now, obviously, if you're going to do a more realistic eye, you know, the eyeball or inside the eye, normally I would color this. And then I would do the, because this is going to be your eye color. This is going to be your other parts of your eye, which bright white I do as well when I do these kind of dolls or girls, because it's just the way I do it. But you don't have to. You can make, you know, look at your eye or look at a picture, you know, because it has like some pink and that kind of thing, some red. So there we go. Maybe I'll do, just for the sake of it, doing it, I'll do just trace these out in the pink. Okay, nothing, we're not going, like I said. All right, I'm going to throw that in there for that. So let's give her, just for funzy, oh no, I'll give her green eyes because Emily has green eyes. And I usually always do green eyes. Didn't know that was sitting there. I forgot I grabbed it. Just clean off my brush a little bit. And go in. Depending on how realistic you want the eyes to look as well. I like to go darker and then I'll go lighter, but it's totally up to you. And remember, you can go to the dollar store. They're selling acrylic paints and all now. For those of you who want to start or don't have the money, you can get them there. You know, I mean, you can get them, keep your eyes out for giveaways, or, you know, there's so many things that you can do. I'm going to teach you guys how to make sprays and all from home too. So, which, you know, is easy. It's not like I'm showing you anything. Now I'm just going to go, and this is succulent, and it's like a, just going to kind of, a little bit. I was going to do a live stream today, but I couldn't get my thing working. I got to sit and do it. I give it like 5 seconds and I'm like, you're not going to work? Fine. And then I move on because I'm like that. Let's leave that dry. Let me take, the nose is bothering me a little bit. Take a little bit of this and I'm just going to erase that. Okay. Will the nose become worse? Who knows? Who knows? Will the nose become worse? Who knows if the nose will become... Okay. All right. I'm going to go, move it down a little bit and just go... just like that. And when I got it like I like it, I'll trace it. That's a little bit better. A little crooked, but I'm okay with that because some people have crooked noses. Not worrying too much. So I'm going to dry those very quickly. And let's do purple hair. Purple hair. Okay. And going in with my brush. I'm not worrying if it's too wet or not. And I don't really measure, like I'm like, because she has a big old forehead. So I'm just going in, and I always go to the side, like so. Because that's how I wear my hair in the side. And I'm just taking it straight down. And I'm not worrying what it covers. Because I agreed with myself before I started this that I wouldn't. And then just take it down again. I need to quit singing songs because so many songs I want to sing. And I'll get busted. Now, I've been loving shading and all that kind of stuff with faces and been playing around with that. That's not what I'm doing today. This is just your little old folk art little girl. And you see how I'm covering that neck up where I screwed up? Paint is wonderful. And I'll do it here too. Just not for any reason, but just to kind of make it, you know. Now you can take black or darker purple or lighter purple, whatever you want, and go in and, you know, give her some highlights, lowlights, a ribbon in her hair. It doesn't matter. A little purple. This is why I just sit and play for hours. I love it because it makes you feel like a little kid. But I love it. There's nothing wrong with it. You know what there's going to be something wrong with? All this paint going away, so I won't. I'll do it on the other page before I'm done. Now, to do the nose, there's so many different ways. You could take a very thin paintbrush and take a, you know, light brown paint, dark brown paint, whatever you have sitting around. And this might not be the best paintbrush for it, but let's see. Just want a little bit. And I'll just put my hand in the paint. That's why I always dry, because I walk around like that, but it's okay. But I just do stuff around the house. So, you know, you just go up and follow what you had. Paint over it. This is the worst paintbrush to use for this. Where did my other little one go? Oh no, I have you sitting here. Let's see if this will be any better. I'll just mark off right there just to add some of that. Yeah, this is not any better. It's all right. I've went over noses a million times to have to fix it, you know. But then I'll just go over this. And I don't want that to be too dark. And if it is, I'm just going to go over it with my paint. But can you see it? That is what I want to know. But don't think that, I mean, like I said, I'm just going to go over it and kind of like touch it up a little bit to thin it. You'll see it. Because you know, you don't need to draw the whole nose. You know the nose is there. It's just kind of shadowy. But I mean, look. And then it'll dry and you can go from there. I can't believe I stuck, but I like the texture it brought. It's just always, you know, fun to have fun. I can take these charcoal marks off, and it's kind of like what they call concealer, for those of you who know what that is. I can go in there, add some more color. See how it's dragging that color up? And then I'm like, oh, too much color. And then I just go back. So you could go in and trace and do whatever you want. It's just fun to do, like I said, to play around and do stuff. So now I will take some white, and I'm not even going to wipe off my brush because, I don't, like I said, I'm not worried about how white. And I'm going to go in. Touch around on the corners just to lighten it up a little bit. You can do some highlights, you know, on the lips if you want. On the nose. Anywhere you want highlights. I know I want some of this gone, so I'm just going to take a little bit of that, because I can definitely go in and firm that up with paint as well. I love the gray effect. Really doesn't go with this painting, but for this little girl that we're doing, we're just playing, no big deal. And then I'm going to add some black in for her eyes. And what I like to use as a marker usually, I think right now I'm just going to use this marker here. I'm going to try everything real quick. It is humid here, humid. I like to start, I like to give her like dreamier eyes, so I'll just go and kind of draw it here. Oh, paint not dry, that's okay. Going in anyway. That's just giving me, you know, where to put it. Make sure you always wipe off your markers or pens. That's why, Cal, because it's out of ink. Well, that'll show you. That'll show you his boss. That's why we'll just use a pen. And this is just play. We're just playing. Open up your art journal and play. Get a piece of printer paper and play. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. I like tracing everything for the most part because it's just how I like to do it, but you don't have to. Everybody has different ways. And I'm just going to go in and color it. Hard to see with the reflection. Let's see if that helps a little bit. Just makes it dark for me, and I don't know how it makes it for you. Okay. I'm just gonna... No, I like to use my circle template for this as well. Like that. And then I'll go in and kind of... You could do this with a pencil, whatever you want. And you see when you add the eyes, they do, it does make everything kind of come to life a little bit. I'm going to move it here, just easier to trace. And then I'll trace the eye a little bit. And I like it, like, because like I said, it's like kind of like illustrated when you do the tracing. It's a little bit, nothing, you know. And if you want to go, I'm just going to leave that there, the marking and all, you know, because it is what it is. It could be added with marker or pen or pencil or whatever you want it. Now for the hair, like I said, you can, obviously the part's going to be here, so we can kind of put a little shadow of the part. And then you can take from here and kind of do little strands. Any color you want. I'm doing this because it's just what I have. Sitting here. But like I said, you can do whatever. You can make it curly, bring it down waves like this. Like I said, with pen, marker, pencil, whatever you got. Then you can even take the color that you used for this and do a little curl coming down. Let me see if I can get that going. Let me try it. I have paint sitting here. On here, but this brush is too... God, I have a cough lately. And I don't smoke, no. I don't. Okay. So you see, like, we have that. And then I can just kind of bring this from here and add, great color, Cal, curls. So it's, you know, kind of blends in, but it kind of looks like, here we go, going in. I hope you guys learned something from this. I know some of you like the longer videos to learn, some of you hate them. So I like to do them once in a while, so you're not like, you know, so everybody gets, and if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. That's how I feel. Because I love all of you guys, and I know some of you don't have time and you don't want to be bothered, and that's completely fine. You just kind of want to get to it. I'm good with that. I get like that too. And I tried to keep this more art related than personal because a lot of people don't like personal. So I'm really trying, guys, to, you know, do my best for what you guys want. Because it gets hard. I'm trying to figure out the whole ad situation. So again, thank you to everybody who left a comment about the ads. You guys are so helpful. Let me know here. I tried to kind of fix it to see if we can get less, because I don't know what the heck's happening. Maybe they're adding like over me. I don't know. But see, I'm just adding little curls. Just make sure they come from somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just laying over her hair. Like mine's always in my face. And just curl it and have it go there. Have it come down, you know, curls here. To make it wavy. Over here, make it wavy. Because remember, we're all different. There's no right or wrong. So I hope that this helped you. My last tip is to take the end of your paintbrush, this end. Or if you have a white gel pen or whatever, I just do a dip. Will do ya. I go in and add a few highlights in the eyes, always on the same side. Little squish, little like that. Like I said, you can add highlights, whatever you want. Just to add a little bit of highlight. And if you screw up and the lips are too light or too dark or whatever you have, you go in and you take your purple paint and you do like this. Look at this. Or whatever color you did. I didn't do purple, but I think you're understanding what I'm saying. And look, all good, baby, all good. So, is she perfection? No. Did you learn anything? I sure hope so. Did I have fun? You bet your butt I did. I can go on and on and on here and really make this. I could add more stamps and stencils and papers, and I could just go all crazy. Let me know down below if you want to see that. I'll wait, you know, until I hear from you guys to touch this again. But if you don't, I don't. That's fine. I'll move on to something else. I really love just doing pages. And like I said, this was just very therapeutic and good for me. I just wanted to play and show you guys a few different tips and tricks and just use stuff at home that you have. Okay? Okay. I love you guys. As always, please be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. If you watched all this way, leave me a comment. I would love to know. And leave me down below about the ads. And don't forget, there are links down below if you want to buy stuff from Amazon and give me a little bit of help. Financially, I appreciate it. And just you watching this helps me. And I love you guys. So, be kind to each other. Be kind. I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.